Hello, I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to more CSGO news. I hope you guys all enjoy. It's going to be a very debatable topic out there, as well as a debatable episode. Many of today's stories are actually very dramatic, and a lot came to light this past week. And if you guys could do me a favor, leave a comment down below your side of things, as there are definitely some dramatic issues, some debatable topics out there in today's episode. And as per usual, all of today's stories will be timestamped down below. The first one we're going to talk about is probably arguably the most debatable out there, as this past weekend it finally came to light. The exposing that's going to be former eUnited head coach, and I say former because he has now been released from the organization, rightfully so. That's actually Jared Random Hartman has now been brought to light and exposed for sending unsolicited and explicit pictures to Sophie. Sophie's also known by Designs by Queenie on Twitter. I'll link her Twitter down below, as she actually tweeted out this past weekend this message, which is now very iconic, and of course is an apology from supposed Jared Hartman, and it's actually been confirmed, guys, ever since his Twitter has been deleted. eUnited has released this guy from their coaching position. It's now been confirmed he did send multiple explicit pictures to this young woman. She is not underage, but still what he did is clearly very wrong, and that's why we're going to talk about it very briefly. Because this incident did not actually happen this past weekend. It was actually 6 months ago, this past summer, where the incident was released, according to Sophie. And again, I'll link her Twitter down below for all of you guys. It was actually multiple nude photos were sent her way via Jared Hartman, and actually was brought to eUnited's attention. eUnited actually did know about this instance, guys. It was initially swept under the rug. She did not come forward about this. She finally, after 6 months, got the courage to post that apology, that again, very iconic message now that's going to go down in arguably some CS history out there for you guys who like to make memes out there as well. Jared's apology for sending such pictures, and on top of that, more information has come out, guys. Reportedly, he actually is a husband and a father on top of that. Now, I do not question what she did was the right thing to do. I really don't. Now, you guys can debate all you want. I'm really grateful she finally had the courage to step up and expose someone who needs to face the judgment for his actions. What he did was clearly wrong. Not only is it sexual harassment, but the guy also has a wife and a kid as well. So what he did was terrible, but I do not necessarily, I don't blame her. I don't blame eUnited for firing the guy. I think he definitely got what was coming from him. I do blame the organization, though, for waiting 6 months to fire the guy. This is a clear case of sexual harassment, and they knew what had happened, but once it went public, here's where it kind of becomes a bit skeptical out there, a bit suspicious, is once it went public, and you guys as a community, you guys know we blow things up very fast. This story did blow up this past weekend, and once it went public, within a couple days, he had been released from the organization. So why not release the guy when you knew about it in the first place before it blew up? And again, I do not blame her for coming forward, and I think it's great to see her finally have the courage to actually step up and say, hey, this guy sent me inappropriate pictures. I did not want any of them, and other people out there in the esports industry need to know about this guy. Also, further clarification, she did not want a job from eUnited. He was not sending her pictures because she was applying for a job. She was a recruit. She had no interest in a job with that, so that was some misspelled information out there. But again, yes, eUnited's former head coach Jared Hartman has now been released for sending those pictures. What are your guys' thoughts? Leave a comment down below. It's just a bit of a skeptical thing from eUnited, but again, something we can certainly, hopefully, move past soon. And also another big news out there, especially for all you French fans, I would be clapping your hands because Vitality is finally making changes, although they might not be the changes you might expect them to be making. Reportedly, according to Nell, I'll link his article down below for all of you, it will be happy to be replaced by LDLC's IGL, that being Alex, a guy who has been known to be on the rise over the past 3 to 4 months. He certainly had his hardship early on with LDLC, but has definitely grown with that roster, despite their latest struggles, of course, the past month or so with their ESL Pro League drama. Besides that, though, he has definitely grown with this roster, and I would see an improvement from Happy with this replacement. But still, I would also agree with many comments out there. There are many weak points in this current Vitality roster. I don't think there's much debate about that. ZywOo is obviously by far and away their far superior player, and when this guy is not doing well, a loss is a much higher percentage likely. But still, besides the point, guys, I think the argument for replacing Happy could equally be made for many players on this roster, maybe even RPK especially, but other players as well besides the ZywOo. So many people out there saying Happy is the obvious weak link. I would tend to disagree. I think there are still several weak points and probably players to take advantage of and actually make vast improvements from on this roster, although currently right now reportedly only going to be Happy to replace on the roster. Also on top of that, many doors now do open. You have NBK, who is of course their current IGL. They're going to of course add LDLC's IGL, that being Alex. It leaves the doors open for the future, right? NBK wants to step away from the role, increase his fragging power a little bit, or you leave that option open for Alex. I think this is definitely a positive move for Vitality. But again, you look at this, guys, this team's history so far. In their 9 losses together, ZywOo was top fragging 7 of those losses, second fragging 2 of the remaining games there. So of all the 9 losses they've had so far as a team, ZywOo is still top fragging 7 of those games and second fragging 2 of them. On top of that, their last 10 wins, guys, ZywOo is top fragging 7 of those games, second fragging 2 of those games. If they can get anyone like an electronic simple duo here, I see vast improvements for Vitality's future. And again, this team is not struggling. They've qualified for many things together with Happy in the lineup. I think Alex is certainly an improvement for the team, but I still do think Vitality can make huge improvements going forward. Also, according to Nell, guys, many French changes are coming to the scene, including 3D Max and other teams also entering. I hope other changes are coming, but I think for now, this would be a one-man change for LDLC. And also, a very big news out there, just announced this morning, guys, Bravado might be leaving America. If you guys do know, it was actually just over a year ago. I do believe they started Project Destiny here in America. They brought the team all the way from South Africa to here in America to become a North American team and raise and train them around American talent. And the team has definitely taken off. They've had their best year, their best 4 months together as well. They're currently going to be in the minor for Katowice 2019 on top of that. But unfortunately enough, this morning, guys, they did post about some financial troubles. As of right now, it does look like this team, after the Katowice minor or their major run, if they make it farther than that, they will be returning to South Africa because, of course, the fees here in America are much higher. So reportedly, guys, they've come down to a few options. Pretty much boils down to, if they do not receive direct funding or, of course, in some way receive some sort of financial benefits, they will be going back to South Africa for the next 2 to 3 months to try and recoup and, of course, make it back to America eventually. So some huge changes coming from Bravado. It's just kind of sad to see a team who has risen, of course, in a few DreamHack events out there as well. We saw this team perform, beating teams like G2, although in best of ones, a team who has certainly gotten better while playing in America, and definitely a fan favorite team. When you guys watch them play, this is a team, a squad who did not stop smiling the entire time. So it would be very sad to see these guys actually go back. As of right now, guys, I will link their fundraiser down below. They are only asking for $30,000 to stay in America for 2 to 3 months. Imagine this, guys. $30,000 is their fundraising goal. I will try and give if I can. If you guys can, any dollar amount helps these guys. Their fundraiser will be linked down below. They even mentioned Motor2K asking for help as well. But it's crazy to think, guys, a Virtus Pro member roster, one Virtus Pro member, what they were making salary-wise in 1 month, just a couple months ago when they had that old roster, that is what suffices an entire team and staff for 3 months on Bravado Gaming. That's insane. $30,000 is what one Virtus Pro guy was making in a month, and that can feed an entire Bravado gaming team for 3 months. That is absolutely insane to think about, the disparity between a large organization and a new organization from South Africa trying to make it in America. Their fundraiser will be down below. Any dollar amount helps, guys. Please donate if you can. And also, very lastly, in my favorite story to cover, which was actually going to be the main story, that is Soulja Boy. If you guys don't know, once a rapper, still a rapper. We do believe so. He has taken off in the esports industry. We thank you guys for all liking that previous video about me saying he would not be a success in esports. He is further thriving that theory. If you guys not catch this past weekend, many screenshots were taken because he took to Twitter to make fun of many nerds out there, and all these tweets were eventually deleted. Luckily, we did get screenshots for all of you guys. I had to blur a lot of the words because his word choice, well, it was actually quite nasty towards all of you nerds out there. It's kind of funny. This guy wants to actually own an esports organization or esports teams, whether you know, to each his own, and yet he makes fun of people for being nerds, which is it's interesting because he also owns a line of consoles and handheld devices in the gaming industry. It's really weird his word choice has been. And again, also on top of that, guys, very lastly, luckily for all of you guys who want to join this guy's esports organization, I don't know why you would, maybe take advantage of some payroll over there as well. He will be launching his esports team or organization in January of 2019, which could just be days or weeks away. I cannot wait to see what it is, what team it is. I told you guys my prediction is probably going to be Fortnite. It's very easy to enter into. You just sign a couple of kids. You don't have to pay them probably too much as well. I would say probably Fortnite first. I don't see CSGO or Overwatch being anytime soon, but leave your comments down below, guys, what you think about that. But as always, my name is Jake. I will be back here tomorrow, guys. And again, also remember Saturday, I'm doing a 24-hour stream, which I could wait for, but yeah, it's going to be tough. I hope you guys all enjoy, though. Thank you all very much for leaving comments down below, because today, well, it was very drama-filled. So leave your side down below. I will see you guys back here tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your days. Goodbye.